Have you ever stared at your empty wallet and wondered, how am I ever going to get ahead? You're not alone. Most people believe you need money to make money. But what if I told you that's a lie? That you can manifest money from nothing, and it can happen in minutes? Imagine this. You're sitting at your desk. Bills are piling up. Stress is mounting. And suddenly, a friend calls you out of nowhere, offering a small job or a gift. Or maybe you find money tucked in an old coat pocket you forgot about. That is how the universe works. Opportunities appear when you're open to receive. Here's the secret. Money isn't something you chase. Money is energy. It responds to your thoughts, your beliefs, and your feelings. If you feel lack, you attract lack. But if you feel wealth before it arrives, the universe has no choice but to deliver. Close your eyes. Picture money flowing to you. Not someday. Not next year. Now. Feel it in your hands. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom. Say it out loud. I am open to receive unexpected money, easily, quickly, and from everywhere. Say it with belief. Say it with gratitude. Notice how that tiny shift, just a feeling, can change everything. It's not magic. It's not luck. It's alignment. Acting as if it's already yours creates a ripple effect. Opportunities appear. People reach out. Ideas spark. And slowly, your reality bends to match your belief. Here are some key points related to this. Money is energy. It responds to your thoughts, beliefs, and feelings. Feeling wealth before it arrives is the first step to attracting it. Opportunities often appear in unexpected ways when you're open to receive. Visualization and emotional alignment are more powerful than chasing money. Saying affirmations with belief and gratitude accelerates manifestation. Acting as if money is already yours creates a ripple effect that brings real results. Have you ever noticed how some people seem to have money flow into them effortlessly, while others struggle endlessly? It's not about luck. It's not about working harder. It's about energy. Money is energy, and like any energy, it moves toward the vibration you emit. Imagine you are standing in the middle of a room, and every thought you think, every feeling you hold, is like a radio signal sending out a frequency into the universe. If your frequency is one of scarcity, worry, or desperation, money hears that and moves away. But when your signal is abundance, calm, and certainty, money doesn't hesitate. It moves toward you. Think of it like a magnet. A magnet doesn't ask for anything. It doesn't beg. It simply pulls what matches its polarity. That's exactly how your mind works. The moment you understand this, you stop chasing money and start becoming the energy that money is naturally drawn to. I remember a friend of mine, Sarah, who had been struggling for months to pay her rent. She was exhausted, stressed, and convinced she would never catch a break. One evening, on a whim, she decided to try something different. She sat in her small apartment, closed her eyes, and imagined receiving money, not just imagining the number, but feeling the relief, the freedom, the gratitude as if it were already in her hands. She imagined the sound of bills stacking, the joy of paying her rent without stress, and the lightness in her chest that came with it. Within days, opportunities began appearing. A client she had forgotten about paid an overdue invoice. A neighbor unexpectedly asked for help on a small job and handed her cash. Even a coupon she hadn't noticed before saved her a significant amount. Sarah told me, "It felt like the universe was listening to my thoughts and responding, almost like it had been waiting for me to open my heart and mind." That's the power of energy. Money doesn't argue with belief. It doesn't question intention. It simply responds to the frequency you're emitting. It's easy to get trapped in thinking, I need money to feel abundant, but abundance starts inside before a single coin appears. When you believe, when you truly feel wealth before it arrives, you set a vibration that attracts the circumstances, people, and opportunities that match it. Picture a musician tuning an instrument. If one string is off, the music falters. But when every string resonates perfectly, the melody flows effortlessly. That's how your thoughts work with money. Align your energy. Tune your mind to abundance, and the universe begins to harmonize with you. Every bill, every paycheck, every unexpected gift becomes a note in the symphony of your financial flow, drawn to the energy you are radiating, not the effort you are expending. Imagine standing at the edge of a riverbank, staring at the water rushing past. You can't hold it back, you can't control its flow, but you can step into the current and let it carry you. That is exactly how feeling wealth before it arrives works. Most people wait for money to appear before they allow themselves to feel relief, freedom, or joy. But the river of abundance only begins to flow when you step into it emotionally first. I remember a man named David who had been struggling with debt for years. Every month was a battle, every paycheck barely covering the essentials. One evening, frustrated and tired, he did something unusual. Instead of counting his bills and stressing about what he didn't have, he sat quietly and imagined holding money in his hands, feeling it as though it were already real. He pictured paying off his debts, smiling with relief, feeling the lightness that comes when financial pressure disappears. At first, it felt strange. He laughed at himself, thinking, how can I feel rich when my bank account is empty? But he persisted. Each day, he repeated the visualization, letting the feeling grow. He allowed himself to feel not just hope, but certainty. A week later, a small but unexpected payment came from a freelance client he had long forgotten. Not long after, a neighbor offered him a side job. These weren't massive sums, but David noticed something magical. He didn't panic when bills came. He felt confident that the money would appear. He told me later, it wasn't just about the money. It was about how I felt. The feeling of abundance drew the opportunities to me without me even thinking about them. That's the core of manifestation. The universe doesn't respond to need. It responds to feeling. Think of it like planting a seed. You don't wait for the tree to appear before you water it. You nurture it first, imagining the leaves, the shade, the fruit, even before it exists. When you consistently feel the abundance, the circumstances begin to grow around it. I've seen this with artists, entrepreneurs, and everyday people. A struggling musician who imagined applause, the packed shows, and the money from his music before he even booked a gig found himself getting unexpected invitations to play. A young woman, desperate for a job, pictured herself receiving her first paycheck with excitement and gratitude, and within days, a position opened up that she never even expected. The key is to let yourself experience the reality in your emotions first. Don't wait for the money to prove it's real. Step into the feeling. Let it saturate your body. Let it shape your thoughts. And watch how quickly life begins to reflect that reality. Money is more responsive to your inner world than to your outer efforts. Feeling abundance first isn't wishful thinking. It's planning the energetic blueprint that the universe uses to construct your reality. Every time you allow yourself to feel wealthy before it exists, you're sending a signal that says, I am ready. I am open. I am aligned. And the universe, like a patient gardener, begins to bring the right opportunities, people, and money directly to you. Opportunities often appear when we least expect them, and most of the time, they come from directions we never imagined. I remember a young woman named Emily, barely scraping by after college, feeling trapped in a cycle of part-time jobs and mounting bills. She was exhausted, mentally drained, and convinced the universe had forgotten her. One morning, on a whim, she decided to spend 10 minutes imagining money flowing into her life. She pictured receiving small, unexpected gifts, random checks, even someone handed her cash on the street, and she allowed herself to feel the relief, the gratitude, and the joy of it as though it were real. That very day, while walking to the store, she bumped into an old acquaintance she hadn't seen since high school. They started talking, laughing, reminiscing, and out of nowhere, he mentioned a freelance opportunity that could pay more in a week than her current monthly income. Emily was shocked, but she recognized it immediately. Her openness, her willingness to imagine abundance, had put her in alignment. She didn't chase it. She didn't plead or negotiate. She simply accepted it. Within days, the work began, and with it came more small opportunities she had never expected. She told me later, it was like the universe was conspiring for me, but only because I had opened the door emotionally, letting it in before it even existed. This happens to so many people when they shift their mindset. It's as if money has a secret radar for people who expect, believe, and feel abundance. I once knew a man named Carlos who had lost his job and was drowning in anxiety. He decided to try something radical. Instead of focusing on what he didn't have, he started saying affirmations like, money finds me in unexpected ways, and visualizing random opportunities appearing every day. Within a week, a neighbor offered him a short-term job delivering goods. A client from years ago unexpectedly paid an old invoice, and a friend invited him to invest in a small project with immediate returns. Carlos couldn't explain it logically, but he understood instinctively. When he aligned his emotions and his mind to expect abundance, the universe responded. The lesson is clear. Opportunities rarely announce themselves with flashing lights. They often appear as small nudges, random encounters, or whispers of possibility. The people, events, and circumstances that bring money into your life are drawn to you when you emit the frequency of readiness. It's like tuning into a hidden radio station. When your mind and heart are aligned, you pick up the signal. When you're stressed, desperate, or doubtful, the signal is blocked. It's not about luck or being in the right place at the right time. It's about creating the internal space for opportunities to show up. Every time you imagine abundance, feel the joy of receiving, and believe in the possibility of unexpected income, you're preparing yourself to recognize and accept it. You're teaching the universe exactly how to deliver what you need in ways you couldn't have planned. And when that moment comes, a call, a message, a chance encounter, you are ready to receive it with open arms and gratitude, because you already lived it emotionally before it manifested physically. Think about a time when you were completely absorbed in something you loved, maybe painting, writing, cooking, or even playing a sport, and you lost track of time. You weren't thinking about the outcome, the reward, or what anyone would think. You were just in the flow, fully present, fully alive. That is exactly how visualization and emotional alignment work with money. Most people try to chase it, track it, or strategize endlessly, but money isn't drawn to effort alone. It responds to the energy you carry and the vision you hold. I remember a man named Liam, a struggling entrepreneur who had been trying for years to launch his small business. He was exhausted, frustrated, and on the verge of giving up. One evening, out of desperation, he decided to close his eyes and imagine his business thriving. Customers lining up, sales pouring in, checks arriving effortlessly. But he didn't just picture it. He felt it. He imagined the laughter of happy clients, the pride swelling in his chest, the freedom to invest in his dreams. Within a week, something remarkable happened. A client he had pitched months ago called back unexpectedly, offering a project that exceeded his wildest expectations. Another opportunity appeared through a casual conversation at a coffee shop. Liam couldn't explain why things suddenly started flowing, but deep down he knew it was the same feeling he had cultivated during those quiet moments of visualization. It was as though his inner experience had set the stage for reality to follow. The same principle works for everyday life, not just big business or career goals. Think about a single mother named Priya, struggling to make ends meet. Each night, she took 5 minutes to visualize a small miracle, an unexpected bill paid, a gift card arriving, a helpful friend offering support. She didn't obsess or worry. She simply imagined the relief, the comfort, the gratitude. Within days, a neighbor offered her leftover groceries. A distant relative sent a small amount of money she hadn't expected. And she even found a few extra dollars in her old coat pockets she thought were empty. Priya realized the universe responds not to desperation, but to alignment, to the quiet, unwavering feeling that abundance is already hers. This works because your mind cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined with emotion. When you feel the joy of receiving money, your brain sends signals that match that vibration. Opportunities start appearing almost magically. Coincidences multiply, and doors that seem closed suddenly open. The key is not to visualize half-heartedly or doubt your power. It is to immerse yourself completely, to step into the feeling as though it is already present. Visualization is like planting seeds in fertile soil. You water them with belief, shine light with gratitude, and protect them from doubt. Eventually, they sprout, and when they grow, it's not because you forced it, but because you created the internal conditions for abundance to appear naturally. Every time you allow yourself to feel success, to live the experience emotionally before it manifests physically, you're sending a signal that the universe cannot ignore, and slowly, effortlessly, the world begins to match your vision. Saying affirmations with belief and gratitude is more than repeating words. It's a way of reprogramming your mind to align with abundance. I remember a man named Alex who had been living paycheck to paycheck for years. Every morning, He woke up stressed about bills, worried about his future, and convinced he would never get ahead. One day, he decided to try something different. He wrote a simple affirmation on a sticky note. Money flows to me effortlessly, easily, and from unexpected sources. He put it on his bathroom mirror and repeated it aloud every morning. At first, it felt awkward. He laughed at himself in the mirror, thinking, how is saying this going to change anything? But he persisted. After a week, Alex noticed something remarkable. Small, unexpected opportunities began to appear. A friend offered him a short-term gig that paid more than he had earned in a week at his regular job. A client he had long forgotten about sent a thank-you check with a generous tip. Even a neighbor he barely knew handed him cash for helping with a small task. Alex realized the affirmations weren't magic words. They were signals to his mind and the universe that he was open, ready, and deserving. By speaking them with gratitude, he was creating a vibration that drew money toward him. This principle works for anyone, in any situation. I met a young woman named Jasmine who had just graduated college with mounting student loans. She was terrified about how she would pay them off. A mentor suggested she start daily practice. Every morning she would say, I am worthy of abundance. Money comes to me in expected and unexpected ways. I am grateful for all that I receive. She didn't focus on the size of the amounts or the timing. She focused on feeling it, the relief, the excitement, the gratitude. Within a month, she received the scholarship she hadn't anticipated, found a part-time job that covered her expenses, and even had friends gift her small sums to help with her living costs. She later told me, it wasn't just about the money. It was a feeling of being supported, of being seen by the universe. Saying it aloud changed how I experience life. The power of affirmations lies in their ability to shift your inner state. Words carry energy. When spoken with conviction, they bypass doubt and fear, anchoring your mind in a state of expectation rather than scarcity. Picture a gardener planting seeds in rich, fertile soil. Each affirmation is like sunlight and water, nurturing the seeds until they grow into reality. The universe responds to the vibration, not the words alone. Even in small daily routines, this practice works. Some people repeat their affirmations while brushing their teeth. Others whisper them while walking. Some write them repeatedly in a notebook. The method isn't as important as the feeling behind it. When you say, money comes to me easily, and truly believe it, your subconscious mind begins to notice opportunities you previously overlooked. Your actions shift subtly. You take steps you didn't see before. Doors open that seem firmly closed, and the world rearranges itself to match your new belief. Acting as if money is already yours is one of the most powerful steps in manifesting abundance, yet so many people overlook it. I remember a woman named Mia who had been struggling with debt for years. Every day, she worried about bills, missed payments, and the stress of scarcity weighed heavily on her. One evening, feeling exhausted, she decided to experiment with something new. She didn't focus on the numbers in her bank account or the size of her debt. Instead, she began living as if she already had financial freedom. She imagined paying her bills with ease, buying groceries without stress, and even treating herself to little pleasures she had always denied. She didn't just think about it. She felt it in her body, like warmth spreading from her chest to her hands, the lightness of relief, the joy of abundance. The next morning, Mia's day started like any other, yet everything felt different. She smiled at strangers. She spoke confidently on the phone. She offered help to a neighbor without expecting anything in return. By midweek, a small but unexpected windfall arrived. An old client she hadn't heard from in years sent a payment for a project she had forgotten. Later, a friend offered her a freelance opportunity. She couldn't explain it logically, but she noticed a pattern. The universe was responding to her internal state, to the vibration she had created by acting as if she already had what she wanted. I've seen this happen countless times. A young man named Jordan, desperate to start his dream business, began dressing and behaving as if his company was already successful. He imagined clients walking through the door, revenue flowing in, and his office buzzing with activity. Within weeks, he received a contract from a client he had been trying to reach for months. The business that seemed so far away suddenly felt inevitable, not because he forced it, but because he had aligned his actions energy, and belief with the reality he wanted. Acting as if it's not pretending. It's embodying the outcome so fully that the universe has no choice but to match it. Even small gestures create this ripple effect. A single mother named Aisha, struggling to make ends meet, began paying bills on time, keeping her home tidy, and speaking with confidence about her finances, as if abundance was already hers. Within days, she noticed small miracles. Unexpected grocery coupons, a neighbor gifting her leftovers, a distant relative sending money. Each small act of acting as if shifted her energy, and opportunities began appearing naturally. It works because the universe responds to vibration, not effort alone. When you carry yourself as someone who is already receiving, as someone who is open and deserving, doors open, coincidences multiply, and opportunities flow to you effortlessly. Every confident step, every grateful thought, every small action aligned with abundance signals to the world that you are ready. The moment you stop waiting for proof and start living from the reality you desire, the universe rearranges itself, moving people, resources, and experiences into your life until your outer world reflects the inner truth you have already embodied. Now is the moment. Not tomorrow, not next week. Now. You have the power to change everything. Your mindset, your energy, your life. Close your eyes and feel it. Feel the money flowing to you. The opportunities appearing. The freedom you've always dreamed of. Step into it. Step into it with belief. Step into it with gratitude. Step into it as if it is already yours. Because the universe doesn't wait. It doesn't negotiate. It responds to action. It responds to feeling. It responds to you deciding right now that abundance is not somewhere out there, but inside you, waiting to be claimed. Say it. Believe it. Feel it. Act as if it's already here. Every small step you take, every thought you embrace, every vibration you send is a signal to the universe. I am ready. I am worthy. I am abundant. Do not wait for a sign. Do not wait for permission. Do not wait for the perfect moment. This is the perfect moment. This is your moment. Because when you act now, when you feel it now, when you live it now, money has no choice but to flow. Opportunities will appear. Doors will open. Life will rearrange itself in ways you never imagined. So, step into your power. Command it. Feel it. Receive it. And remember this. Your support means everything. If this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe. And remember this. Abundance is not something you chase. Abundance is something you become. Thank you for being here. See you in the next one.